Hey everyone, this is Corey with Casual EDC, and today we're going to be taking a look at the GiantMouse Ace Riv. So this is one of the smaller guys from GiantMouse here, kind of like a scaled down version of the Biblio. I'm going to bring it in for a little size comparison here with our Benchmade bug out. And of course the Victorinox Cadet, the 84mm model. So you can see here, you're looking at pretty much the same overall length as the Victorinox Cadet. In terms of grip area, you obviously have some more because of the choil, but general handle length is going to be about 84mm on here. And your cutting edge is almost identical between these two. Not sure how well you can see that on there, but you might have just a touch more with the Victorinox. Now I don't have specs pulled up, but this is just going to be a quick review as I've just had this guy for a little bit here and I got to get it back to its owner. David, thank you for sending me this. I sent him my Koenig Arius and he sent me this and one other knife, a GiantMouse as well, to check out. So David, thank you for that. Just my thoughts here on the Riv are that it's a very compact little piece. Some people call it a fifth pocket knife. I personally never put anything in my fifth pocket, so it's just a smaller carry for me. Definitely enough blade to be capable and enough edge in most scenarios. And speaking of that blade and edge, you have a very thin blade coming down to a very thin edge. This cuts extremely well. See if I can kind of get up into the heel. Yeah, you can see that, how thin that comes down to on the edge. And it slices extremely well. Whether you use the flipper, thumb flick it, middle flick it, doesn't really matter. You get right in this finger choil, and this will slice through cardboard, carrots, paper, tape, whatever you might need. Very, very easily. You can see we have my Carta handles on this, and this is a frame lock. Rocking the wire clip here. So unlike the Biblio, this is a frame lock, whereas the Biblio is a liner lock. Flipper, thumb hole, middle finger flick, whatever you want to do with it. It does ride on bearings. Because of the position of that flipper tab, it doesn't quite drop onto your finger, but once you get your finger out of the way, just give it a nice little flick to get it shut. From where it makes contact here. See it, when I shook it, it came back. I just gotta give it one little push to get it over that detent the rest of the way. And then it shuts nice and easy. Overall, pretty comfortable ergonomically. It doesn't really work for me too much in this back area here. My pinky finger lands right on the cutout for the lanyard hole, which I hate lanyards, I hate lanyard holes, and they just make uncomfortable spots on knives because if this was in just a contoured scale here, it would be really comfortable, but it's not because they had to do a lanyard hole. So now it's a hot spot, and it really does bother me with use. And that being said, so does the clip. You can see the clip doesn't sit too proud, but it's not the deepest carry, so it really digs right into my hand down here. And I want to grab that. If it was just a little lower, I wouldn't be squeezing it into this area, the base of my pinky. It would be a little bit further down, which would be really nice, because if I scoot this knife up and get the clip into more of the palm here, it's fine, but then I really have to have this out in front as like a saber grip, which is fine for cutting tape and whatnot, but for cardboard you want to have a little bit more grip, and that's when my pinky lands on those sharp corners of the micarta. You can see they're not very well rounded on the edges, and you have some sharp points, especially up here. So that's pretty much my only ergonomic gripes. I will say, if you are left-handed, do not buy this knife, whatever you do, because it sucks left-handed. I carried this on my left side most of the time because I was also carrying the other knife that David sent me. So I just kept this dropped in my left pocket. And I'd pull it out and I'd go to middle finger flick it. Oh, wait, fingers on the lock bar. Can't do that. All right, let me go to the pocket clip. Nope, the pocket clip sits almost entirely on the lock bar, so you can't do that either. All right, I'll hold up here. Well, now you're really having to pinch as hard as you can with 2 fingers, and it's really uncomfortable because you got nothing else supporting this, and it's almost impossible to flick out. Flipper tab, also, you're gonna have to get that thumb way up top here and kind of push everything way out in your hand. So I don't know if you can tell how like uncomfortable this positioning is, but that's about the only way I can really get to this left-handed with the flipper tab, because I can't just do that while putting pressure down. You really have to keep pressure off and hope that you're using enough, you have enough grip with your other fingers on the micarta side. Thumb flick is the most reliable, left-handed for sure, but without a reversible pocket clip and the ergonomic issues that I had talked about, your pinky lands directly on the clip, and if you have really big hands, your ring finger is probably going to land on it, so it's not going to be comfortable. Jens Onso and, of course, Jesper Voxnes, the designer of this particular knife, both the designers and owners of GiantMouse, make really comfortable ergonomic designs, but I think to appease the masses, they make some sacrifices, like the lanyard hole, and that really results in some issues for me. And I'm sure for many others as well. I'm not sure. I haven't really watched anything else about the Riv, but I know a lot of people like it. Like Chris Grady from Grady's Gear loves his Riv and his f5.5. Never handled an f5.5. It's another Vox design, but I know he is a big fan of the Riv, and I can understand why. It does cut really well. It's a nice little piece. These guys are like $197, I want to say, and for about $30 more, if you can land one, you can get a TRM Neutron. Slightly bigger, of course, but you're still looking at an extremely slicey blade in a better steel. Well, I shouldn't say that. This is M390. This is 20 CV. It's basically the same steel, so just pretend I didn't say that. But you're looking at titanium liner lock, 20 CV steel, a slicey blade, more handle, much more comfortable in the hand. Same deep kind of carry clip. But, you know, the neutrons can be a little hard to get. The previous drop that TRM did lasted a full 11 minutes until everything was sold out, so getting a lot better, releasing more knives at once. But if you're really looking for a very small, slicey carry, this is a good knife. I'm not gonna say it's a bad knife. It's built well, it performs well. It just has some ergonomic issues that I'm really not a fan of, and that is kind of what ruins this knife for me. I don't hate it, but I certainly will not be purchasing one of my own, and I'm kind of happy to be done carrying it, because if it's not comfortable to use, it's not comfortable to carry, and that's kind of the biggest thing for me. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, we have tons of other videos on the channel. We're going to be trying to upload pretty regularly as we get knives in and more content. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those down below. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Take care.